Yes, guys. You already know the vibes. You know what time it is. It's G. We're back. We're back. We're here. We're here. We are here in defeat. We still keep the videos rolling. You guys can see it up on the screen already. Manchester United versus Liverpool FA Cup quarter finals. Winners obviously go on to play at Wembley in the semi-finals. And unfortunately for Liverpool Football Club, the quad charge is now done and dusted for this season. Manchester United 4, Liverpool 3. Guys, please make sure you're smashing a like. Please make sure you do share and subscribe to the channel. Tough one to take. Tough one to take against your rivals. I said it before in my preview as well. It is one of those games. Manchester United are one of those teams, but I did think that Liverpool would come out on top. Unfortunately, I was wrong. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. We'll get into a few little bits and bobs. Of course, I'll bring you guys my player ratings towards the end. And of course, guys, please let me know what you're thinking. I know a lot of you are angry. I know a lot of you are hurt. I know there's a lot of reactionary takes. I've seen it already. I've seen the videos come in from a lot of you. So yeah, please just engage in the comment section. I will, of course, reply to everybody. So just make sure you are commenting, please, please, please. But without further ado, let's just get into this, man.
Through the lot, now you know I'm coming through. When the growth look good on you, best believe they wanna screw now. I've been trying to climb, devil threw me in the dark. Baby, don't be insecure, you can still go make a mark like blow. Could never let them drain my soul now. Blow. Table turning like doorknobs, wow. Blow. I think I'm about to set sail. I'm a walking, living legend, walking with my chest out. Life keep dealing me cards, I keep feeling in love.
What's going on, people? What's going on? What's going on? Hey, madness. Absolute madness. As I said before, guys, in the intro, please make sure you're smashing a like, sharing, and subscribing to the damn channel. Big up everybody who has done so already. Yes, we are only 2 minutes in. It's a crazy one, man. I haven't done many of these match reactions, and Liverpool have actually lost the game, so that kind of tells you where Liverpool are at this current moment in time. But we're here to talk about the game, Manchester United versus Liverpool. As I mentioned before, 4-3 to United at Old Trafford. Man United obviously winning it in extra time. I mean, I don't even know where really to begin. There's obviously a few points, a few talking points and stuff like that, I guess. But, I kind of want to save that. I kind of want to save that for, any analysis. I think Jerry might do a tactics board or something like that. So maybe we'll talk about it there. But yeah, in general, when I'm looking at the game, before I obviously get into my player ratings and speak about each player, blah, blah, blah. In general, look, Liverpool, we're all talking about the quad, whatever quad that you want to call it. Excuse me, of course, it's not the quad, but it is a quad, by definition, of course, whether it's a meaty quad, whatever, it doesn't even matter. It's 4 trophies, which is usually 4 more than what anyone else is getting in like 10 years anyway. So the fact that Liverpool were trying to, obtain that, big up to them, but fell short. I'll be real. And I think looking at the game as a whole, Liverpool did, of course, dominate for large parts of that game in normal time. But when we got to extra time, Liverpool deserved to lose on the face of it. If I'm being totally honest, Manchester United were deserving of that win. I didn't think Liverpool were good enough in that extra time. In 90 minutes, yes. But again, it goes, back to that old saying, if you don't take your chances. And it's that thing that I always talk about, this luck thing, with Liverpool. And I've said this so many times. You guys, of course, you can go and, check it out. And you hear me all the time, how many times I say it, and, how many times I've said, like, just, and obviously this is just one game, by the way, but we're talking about this game in particular. Like, how many times I've said already, like, yo, the way that Liverpool play, bro, like, it don't fill me with that mad confidence that people seem to have. I don't know why, but it doesn't fill me with confidence. What fills me with confidence probably more so is the inevitability about Liverpool. But when I watch us play, I'm not always sitting there thinking, oh, you know what? Yeah, we're just, I never really felt like, not this season anyway. Like, I felt it before in other seasons. but not this year. I don't really get that. I don't really get that. I generally just believe, look, not all of it, of course. There has been some really good football in some games that we've had this season, so that'd be disingenuous if I said anything different. But into like today, it was more individual kind of quality at points, you know, with certain things that we were doing, in my personal opinion. But we did dominate for large parts of that game. I feel like that's just more because Man United are not really that good. You know what I mean? So we was kind of just, Man United just being kind of Manchester United. They had some good points about their game. Don't get it twisted. There was one player I thought for Manchester United today was absolutely, you know, really, really good, and that was Kobe Mainoo. You know what I mean? Whilst he was on the pitch, he was doing his thing, man. He was doing his thing big time, man, and big up to him as well, man. I feel like an England call-up won't be too far away for someone like him. Another player who I liked was Garnacho. I thought Garnacho was good in terms of he was just doing everything he possibly could to help. Obviously, you know, it reminded me of like a Luis Diaz performance. You know, a kind of a typical one. You know, without getting your like goal or anything like that. It was just that kind of performance where you're just like, he's trying everything. He's going to be the reason why you score. You know, obviously, we know obviously at the end and stuff like that with Diallo, obviously scoring the last minute goal. Like he just was just doing his thing, and he was giving our fullbacks a bit of torrid time, you know what I mean, with that pace in behind and stuff like that. You know, he was always going to cause some type of problems, you know, regardless. So yeah, like they had some players who were playing well, man. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like it wasn't as if everyone was shit and they were just super lucky. Nah, I have to give credit to Manchester United, man. I definitely big them up. Like they hung in there at times where I was just, you know, where Liverpool's, would I say, incompetence in front of goal, you know, certain situations that we were having. We already know how many 3, 4, 5-on-2s do you guys want in games and not going to score. We saw what happened at Arsenal. Against Arsenal at Anfield in the Premier League, you know, up against Declan Rice, and somehow you hit the bar. Like we were having two, and we had a couple of those situations in this game, and you're just sitting there thinking, brother, like you lot serious right now? Like, are you actually serious? Like you're not trying to win. You're not trying to win. You know what I mean? They're playing against us right about now, and those are the moments where, unfortunately, you know, luck doesn't really swing your way. But it's like I keep saying, like we'll get like Liverpool will always score goals, as we obviously proved, you know, in this game. And in basically every other game that we played, we'll always score goals. The problem with Liverpool is that you will give the opposition too many opportunities to score. And if you don't take your own chances, bro, like I said, that's why I then talk about the luck, because I'm like, in other games, it doesn't work out that way, where we are lucky that the other team just don't really score, or score opportunities that they miss opportunities, that they should be scoring. Then in this game, it just worked out. You know what I mean? Like that, it just so happened that they were able to finish off the opportunities that they did have. And even ones where I thought like Anthony's goal, you know, that goal, even then I was like, oh, that's a very good finish. Do you know what I mean? Like he didn't have a lot of space to have to turn, swivel, and then shoot with his weaker foot as well. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And then of course the breakaway goal with Diallo at the end. But yeah, I think tactically, it's difficult to say Liverpool weren't really, like, we was okay tactically. Like we just played the same way that we always play, really and truly. So like, was I going to see anything different? No. But one thing I will say is that, again, Liverpool have one way of playing that works for them anyway. Not say only one way that we use. We try to potentially do other things, but we have one way of playing, which is high intensity and just trying to kill teams off, you know, as quickly and as fast as possible, and you know, continuing to attack. When we start to obviously control the play between, I don't know, would I say like the 37th minute to, like, I don't know, the 80 something minute, or yeah, like around about 80 something minute, when we were trying to control the game, that was cool to a certain extent. The problem you have with stuff like that is that you have to then be super clinical in those kind of situations. And the problem is, I don't feel like Liverpool are super, like, they're not that type of clinical. We're the type of clinical where we will need 10 chances, but we will score 4 of those, as an example. You know, we're that, not you're only going to get 1 or 2 and pray to God that you're going to. I don't feel like Liverpool are that type of team. And there's not many teams, by the way, who I feel like are even that type of team anyway, you know, in terms of they just need one chance to score. Like that's like Haaland, Harry Kane, these kind of Ronaldo's, these kind of players who, I just need one chance. That's it. I don't feel like Liverpool have that yet. Just one chance, we're good. That's it. We'll kind of move on. We do need 10 chances and probably score 3 or 4 of those chances. Again, there's nothing really wrong in that, but we're all about the volume. If I'm being totally honest, even in this game we had 25 shots. To Manchester United's 28 shots. Both had 11 shots on target in the game. Let me even show you guys up here. You guys can see it for yourselves. You already know anyway. So cool. 28 to 25, 11 shots, 4 big chances Manchester United missed. And this is what I'm saying about, 3 big chances missed, and they had 4 big chances in the game. We had no big chances at all in the game. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say? Because of course, the way we were trying to play it was, let's just keep it comfortable. You know what I mean? You can see the players were a little bit leggy. How many games we played recently? A lot of players playing against Sparta Prague and all of that kind of stuff, all culminating into these kind of things. More passes in the game. We're committing more fouls in the game. It's honestly like it's just funny. It's just funny, man, because like I said, I feel like I've seen these kind of performances before, but where we'll get away with it in certain type of situations is just purely because the other team are just not as clinical, if I'm being totally honest with you. So it allows us to be able to say, okay, if they're not going to score, then we'll score later on. And then of course Liverpool, the kind of team, score 1, score 2, which is kind of what I thought what happened when we got to 2-1, score 1 and then you score again. That's Liverpool's kind of thing. But then when you drop off, it's like, oh, you got to be careful, because like I said, then you need to become ultra clinical, and it's difficult. That's a difficult thing. There's not many teams who are going to be ultra clinical in these kind of situations. You feel me? So, when you're not that type of team, to then try and do that. And then I know people talk about the subs and stuff like that, but I mean, I thought Elliot was calm when he came on. I thought he was all right. You know what I mean? I didn't see any problem, with Harvey Elliott when he came onto the pitch. Of course, I know Cody Gakpo. It's Cody Gakpo. We'll do a video on him anyway, guys. So save all your energy for that video. I'll announce that over the next couple of days. Of course, Simicast coming on, Bobby Clark coming on, Bradley coming on. They were okay, I guess. Like, they were all right. Bradley was okay. Like, nothing too special. Elliot was the one for me that just continuously just doing his thing, just continuously trying to do his thing. Of course, then got the lucky goal. We had 2 kind of lucky goals, if I'm being honest. Mad deflections into the net. But if you don't shoot, you know what I mean? If you don't buy a lottery ticket, how do you expect to win? So again, it was within that. But listen, it's a disappointment to lose the game. On the face of it, for talking in totality, I'd probably say Manchester United probably then did deserve it, really and truly, especially in that extra time period, and the fact that they hung on in the game. And again, due to our own incompetence, not finishing off certain situations where we've got more men than they do in the counter attack. And come on, man, that's schoolboy stuff, man. That's schoolboy. That, like, you do that kind of stuff in training. Do you get what I'm trying to say, brother? And more time you're gonna score, no? Well, you should be scoring anyway. If you ain't, then yeah, that's bigger problems. But I wouldn't really be like, I don't know. Like I said, we'll do videos later on within the week in regards to like certain players and stuff like that. 'Cause I know that's a hot topic for everybody at this current moment in time. Capo, of course, I know, being one of those players. Harvey Elliott being another one of those players. Endo, McAllister, and stuff like that. Who I thought McAllister had a decent game as well. So yeah, it's just one of those things, but it is what it is, man. Like, to try and win 4 trophies anyway. I mean, I didn't think we were going to win 4 trophies regardless, but the fact that you're trying to win 4 trophies, that in itself is, I mean, you got to applaud that. But at the same time, if sometimes the better man's going to win. You know what I mean? And that was just what it was. Manchester United with a better team overall in that totality. We can dress it up however we kind of want to dress it up. We can find every excuse under the sun. We're out. Do you know what I mean? There isn't really much else to say. Like, we are out of the FA Cup. So that quad charge has been halted by Manchester United in this. So really and truly, we go away for the international break, for the international period, and just dust ourselves off. Hopefully some players are going to be coming back. Hopefully anybody who is going away isn't going to be picking up any type of injuries. And then really and truly, we just move from there, to be honest with you, man. For me, it wasn't really that deep. Like, the way people were talking about it, I was like, right, all right, cool. Like, you would have thought this is the final or something, but I kind of get it. I do kind of get it. I don't want to lose to Manchester United because I already know where everyone's going to be going with this kind of conversation. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But let's just get straight into my player ratings. Kelleher. I thought overall he was okay. Just trying to think for the goals. The Diallo one, I feel like I'd be being harsh if I said, yeah, you have to save that. But I was a little bit disappointed with the fact that did actually go in. It wasn't even a clean shot like that, and maybe that was one of the reasons. Big up Savage because he mentioned it. Maybe that was one of the reasons why it went in. But I just felt like, yeah, I mean, you could do a tad bit better. But I'll give him a 7. I don't feel like he was shit or anything like that. In the game. Joe Gomez. Oh Jesus, Joe Gomez. I don't think he played that well at all. Yeah, I don't think he played well like that at all. It's like I don't feel like he played shit. I don't even feel like is anyone. Yeah, I don't think there's anyone I would say necessarily played shit in that kind of sense. But at the same time, I just felt at times defensively, your position wise, that relationship with Kwanzaa, I don't like. I'm not comfortable with that at all. Do you know what I mean? Because it's already difficult for someone like Kwanzaa in that role anyway. As it is, so then to play it with someone like Joe Gomez, sometimes I feel like a tad bit too adventurous with some of his positioning again. I know, of course, sometimes he wants to push out to that wing back kind of role, into that right back role, and then sometimes he wants to push into the midfield and stuff like that. But I just feel like in today's game, that communication with Kwanzaa, I don't know, man. I wasn't really feeling that at all. And then even talking about Kwanzaa in the game in itself, again, he wasn't poor, or anything like that. I'm just even taking a look at his own statistically, because in my mind I'm like, I mean, I'll probably give you like the same as Gomez, to be honest with you. I don't really feel like I feel like you're both the exact same, to be honest with you. Maybe you were a tad bit better, so maybe like a 5.5 kind of thing. I mean, aerial duels, he was good. Ground duels, he was calm. Yeah, again, it was just really more about his positioning, if I'm being honest with you, especially for that for the first goal. Again, I've seen that goal quite before, actually. I'm trying to think what game it was. In fact, I think it was against Luton. I think it was against Luton at Anfield, and I think it was the same two players, Kwanzaa and Endo. Again, positioning, both not really looking over their shoulder, and you let that third man run, and then they go on to, of course, he goes on to take the shot. Keller saves it, and then McTominay obviously runs in and scores. But yeah, it's that relationship, man. I just feel that relationship on that right hand side. Yeah, when Kwanzaa's there anyway, yeah, it just needs to be patterned up a lot better than that, man. But I'll give him a 5.5. I thought he was a tad bit better than Joe Gomez. Virgil, I thought Virgil was just he was just solid, he was calm. Again, I do at times. I'm not even saying it's his fault, but at times when the defense starts looking a tad bit out of shape and stuff like that, I do look at him and say, okay, how are you organizing this? How does it look like when when obviously you're there, you're back there, kind of thing? Are you organizing the defense well enough to be able to put the team into the right shape? Of course, it's not going to be down to you per se. So, because obviously certain situations are not actually down to you, but at the same time, it is your job as the leader, as the captain, to be able to marshal that defense a bit better in certain situations. And I just feel like you don't really do that. I'm actually going to change Keller's score to 6.5. And Van Dijk, actually, I'm going to give it 6.5. I'm just thinking about it now. Andrew Robertson, Robbo. Just trying to think in regards to Robbo. Like, he was probably the best out of a kind of meaty bunch. Obviously, Robbo's doing the typical Robbo kind of things in terms of course, trying to get forward, trying to be an outlet out there on that left-hand side, trying to get himself involved in play. But then sometimes with Robbo, what annoys me is positionally, at times, this guy will go, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes he will go in a little kind of like walkabouts, and that will leave space at the back there where the team just goes a little bit out of shape because of that. Now, that's something that he's been doing, and that's something that, it's just, I guess, factored into his kind of game. But when you're when you're only connected with 3 out of 10 crosses in a game, yeah, it's not really. Do you know what I mean? What you're doing up there isn't really popping. But yeah, I'll give it 6.5, man. It's difficult because, bro, you can see 4 goals. I'm sorry, man. Like that's the whole defense, but that's a whole team problem. It's a whole team problem. And we'll go on to Endo. Endo again. I felt like this is another game I've watched Endo in recent times where I'm just like, it wasn't like you weren't rubbish. Again, I'm not gonna go that far and start calling man out and stuff like that, like I see some people doing. But you weren't really all that, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, of course, the first goal you bringing down, I can't remember who it was in the middle of the park. I know you was everywhere and you was trying to do your thing, but you know, again, like I said, moments. It's all about moments. And in these kind of games, especially when you only lose by 1 goal, it's always going to be about moments in certain situations. And I just felt like 1, 2 out of 4 tackles, 4 out of 11 ground duels, 1 out of 2 aerial duels. It was like steady, but at times you did look a little bit leggy. And I think that was with the whole team. So you were finding yourself out of position in certain moments, you know. I'll give him a 6.5. Yeah, I give him 6.5, man. Who should I start with? I'm gonna start with Zabozalai. I'm just gonna give Zabozalai a 4. Big up ends because I see ends give Zabozalai 4. I was like, right. I swear you're giving Zabozalai 4s in that. I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I thought I was the ones who was giving out 4s and stuff. Yeah, I kind of thought he was dead. I can't lie. I actually thought he was kind of dead in the game. I feel like he's been dead though since he's kind of come back. People are going to tell me about this off the ball work that this brother's be doing during this period of time. I'm still like, about this off the ball work that people keep telling me about. I'm not really seeing it that way, to be honest with you. Yeah, especially in up until we scored anyway. But all 3 of these man were getting bullied by Mano. But they were getting bullied, man. He was making all these guys look dumb in that middle of the park. You know, actually, no, I'm not gonna do that. Actually, I'm gonna give him 4.5. Give 4.5 still. I'm not gonna do an ends. You know what I'm saying? But nah, all jokes aside, like, yeah, I don't know, man. When I watched this brother play recently, yeah, there's just like some type of spark has been taken out of you. Now like I said, we can dress it up and put it whatever way that we want to put it. Like I'm not gonna kill man for saying whatever they want to say. And yeah, Donny's running around doing the Henderson role. We can all joke and laugh about that. But even that, I'm just like, yeah, I feel like I don't know, like you do it with more flair, but brother, you're not really popping like that. Like the way you're doing it is because you're doing it with more flair. I think people just got more gassed about it. Because of course he's got way better technique than Jordan Henderson. He's got a good shot that we really haven't seen too tough from outside of the box. Even though that was one of the things everyone was like, "Nah, watch this, brother. He's gonna do this down the third." These times I see it like twice or something since he's been here. Yeah, man. Honestly, I just thought he's dead. I just thought he's dead. McAllister, I thought he was good. I thought McAllister was good in this game. Was trying things in the middle of the park, of course, trying to get the ball moving forward, trying to help with the build-up play. It's really the same stuff with McAllister, to be honest, that we've seen in other games. It just wasn't really his best game. Of course, got that goal that kind of got us, started and going before Salah, of course, then scored to make it 2-1. Yeah, I feel like when he's got the ball, there's a lot more calm in the midfield. He allows us to be able to it's almost like he's trying to play, but the tactics ain't allowing him to play. That's sometimes it's like when I watch him, it's like he wants to do one thing, but the tactics told him he's got to do something else. So he's got to almost go against what is key for him. But he's doing good though. Like he himself is doing good within everything in itself. We've won games anyway with him playing the way he kind of played today. It just wasn't really enough, to be honest with you. And again, as the game kind of wore on, just that leggy kind of situation. Salah, he scored, but was, in my opinion, dead. I thought Salah was dead. I didn't think he did much. The stat padding, really, if I'm being 100% honest with you, felt like Salah was just generally stat padding. I'm not mad at it. Like that's my G. I'm saying that's my guy. I'm saying do your thing, get your goal. Scored bare goals against Manchester United as it is, but I just feel like he was just stat padding in this game. Like outside of his goal, I'm struggling to even really remember too much of what Salah was kind of doing in the game. It almost seemed like he was just kind of trying to play on that periphery, if you get what I'm trying to say. Like he was just trying to stay out wide over there, come in every now and again, of course, trying into what's the bloody word I'm even looking for? Trying to interchange with the other attackers and stuff like that. But yeah, lost possession quite a few times as well. Yeah, man, I think I'll give Salah 6.5. Darwin Nunes. I thought he was okay in the game. Again, I think everyone was so tired. It was so difficult at times to really judge it. But yeah, I felt like Nunes was okay, but we couldn't really get him into the game that much. Good layoff for the McAllister goal, by the way. That was a decent layoff. I know it was just simple, but it's simple and effective. Tried to stretch play at times, but overall, just thought he was just kind of meaty. If I'm being honest with you, 6. Diaz kind of the same, and I feel like that's kind of like a 6 in itself. I felt like it was at times, he did some good things, but then that majority of the time, I just felt like it's all bark but no bite with Diaz. That's how I see him play. It's like all bark, no bite. Yeah, I mean, man can do all of this like extra effort stuff and all of that kind of, and with things like that, that's all great. Did you get what I'm trying to say? And I'm not trying to diss it, so to speak, but as an overall, I didn't watch that and think, Diaz was sick. Did you get what I'm trying to? I definitely didn't watch that. Again, this isn't me to say that what I'm saying is factual or anything like that. You guys kind of let me know in the comment section. But yeah, like I said, man, to me, this was kind of just like even I'm looking at the ratings and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like I could have seen this could be any other game that I've kind of seen this season. But the difference is we would have won. That's literally the difference. Like that's it for me. Like I'm not even looking at this and thinking, God, how did we lose? Yeah, like, I'm thinking, I've seen this before though. Like in terms of how I rate it and how I just perceive it and stuff like that. I feel like this is kind of the same. This is really the same kind of stuff. So am I that surprised that we lost? Not really. If I'm being honest, when I'm looking at the ratings here, not really, because I've given probably this exact same ratings for other games before. Maybe change around some players and stuff like that. But yeah, it wasn't really. Like I said, Liverpool were good from when we scored the basically from like half time. No, really from when we scored the first goal. And even when we went to go and score that second goal, of course, it was really good from Joe Gomez to win the ball back and stuff like that. That's what. In fact, that was the only good thing I think he did in the entire game, by the way. But yeah, we were. It's like I said. It was just for me. It's when you then try to play a way that's kind of alien to you, in a sense of we're just gonna sit back, we're gonna chill, knock the ball about and stuff like that, and try and be this super clinical team, like say we are. That's for me just brings its own problems because we're not. So we're a volume team, and so and everyone contributes to that in itself. That's why when Elliot came on, Elliot injecting that kind of fast-paced kind of football, it works to a certain degree. But the problem is when it's only just him and no one else can really match it, you start to see in the extra time, that's when you start to notice it and you're just like, okay, he's got it, but no one else has really got it. So it's hard to then keep doing certain things as a team, press as a team, and then it's really just about trying to just keep the ball and stuff like that. But it just wasn't really meant to be. Yeah, the subs are the subs, man. They were right. There was some that okay. Gakpo, like I said, we'll do a video on that, but I don't want to go too deep on that. But yeah, this is my ratings, man. This is my ratings, really and truly. Screenshot that shite. Let me know exactly what you guys think in the comment section. Got 6.5 for Kelleher, 5 for Gomez, 5.5 for Kwanzaa, 6.5 for Van Dijk, 6.5 for Andrew Robertson, 6.5 for Endo, 4.5 for Zabozolai, 7.5 for McAllister, Salah 6.5, Nunes 6, Diaz 6. You know what, actually? Because I can't, I mean, I don't want people to say I've got an agenda. I'm going to give Salah a 6, man. Because I just thought that this brother was just super duper meaty as hell. I thought like everyone was kind of meaty anyway. But I just thought the only good player, and I'll just say it now and I'll put it up there now. Man of the match for Liverpool was Alexis McAllister again. I feel like this guy, man, he's been playing really well. But in regards to Salah, man, I've just stat at him, man. Again, we'll talk about that another time anyway. But guys, let me know in the comments as well. What do you guys see? Again, and I don't want reaction. I want you guys to really think about it. If you got to go back and watch the game again, If you think I need to watch the game again, then please, you know what I mean? Please do so. Do you get what I mean? Like, maybe I missed something. Maybe there was something I needed to see, and maybe that might change my mind. But again, this is what conversation is there for. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm comfortable with those ratings. And as I said before, this is just like any other game that I've kind of seen this season. So the results shouldn't really shock, because I've said that you ain't gonna be able to do this in every single game and play like this in certain games and think you're just gonna get away with it. Do you get what I mean? So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But yeah, final thoughts. At the end of the day, we're out. So that is kind of like my final thought. And there's no more FA Cup for us. So we just got to focus on the Premier League when we come back from the international break. Just got to focus on the Europa League as well. Got a good draw in that. Premier League, we got some favourable fixtures. So again, it's kind of a good little run, hopefully. So we're just hoping that Manchester City and Arsenal can take points off each other in the next game and hopefully drop points in the next few games. But it's going to be interesting. I said it already before. It's going to be real interesting between now and the end of the season, as to, you know, what's going to kind of happen. But we'll stay tuned, man. We'll stay tuned. We'll stay tuned. But guys, there's my player ratings. That's my match reaction, should I say, done and dusted. Let me know what you guys, of course, think in the comments. Make sure you're smashing that like, sharing, and subscribing to the damn channel. I'm G, and we're out, man.